the Wi-Fi together, baby. Here we go again. You ready? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So it's about that time, guys. So I'm going to try my best not to be too crazy. I'm trying to. I don't know if I'm really that loud. I don't think I'm that loud when I'm doing the show. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. I really shouldn't do the show, but god damn it, I'm gonna do the show. Okay. Now mind you, I have been up for an hour. Full disclosure. I laid down on some old man shit. I laid down at 8 o'clock to take a nap. Hold on, real quick, before I start the show. Did I even put on the daggone alarm for myself to wake up? Let's see. I feel like I did something. Hold on. Because I laid down around like 8 o'clock, like 8 o'clock or so, right? And said, I'm going to sleep for about an hour. You know what? I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I feel like I did put an alarm on, but you know, I might have slept through the alarm. But listen, I have a thing about finishing what I start. So I'm going to start this bitch right now. I don't know how long it's going to take. Because really, I need a couple of hours. Because I'm going to keep saying that I'm not going to sweat whether or not I get all my rocks off on one subject. I'm like, if I have to bring this shit back, I will bring this shit back. Okay, if I have to talk about it again, I will talk about it again. You understand? You can't stop me. So what we're gonna talk about? Academics has done a beautiful. That's why I'm saying I need like 3 or 4 hours to break down this whole story because there's so many different things going on at one time, right? And it's also under what can I say? I would say the guys, but it's under. It like fits within that same theme that Coach Greg Adams was talking about when he was talking about how black men are not ready for high levels of leadership, right? He was talking about that coach. I forget the old boy's name. I have to learn more about that story to report on it properly. But a lot of black men, like, we're not really ready for high levels of leadership. Not that we can't be. And the reason why, because we have this thing, I never know how to describe how to talk about it. But amongst black people, we do this shit where we get so caught up in, how can I say, the celebration of ourselves, right? So, for example, I'll put it to like this: rather than, don't get me wrong, every step counts, and it's good to be happy and to commemorate. Let's say you're opening a business, right? Yo, today I did my LLC. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like social media has done this thing where we look at stories differently and we look at life differently, right? And again, every post online can be a bit of an event. Like I mean, like the bigger the event or the more serious the post or more engaging the post, will have more likes and comments and whatnot, right? And then we get to where we get caught up in the picture or the post of something versus like what it actually is. Yeah, you made the LLC. The point of the business is to make money. The real celebration is when you've created a successful business that's making you money that you can actually spend. A lot of people who say they got a business never ever get that far, right? And also, and again, a part of your leadership skills is the choices you make and what you think a good choice is. And what comes to mind is the DC squatter. We're gonna bring back the DC squatter because it's several things to also break down. And I ain't gonna lie, the DC squatter is kind of thick. Full disclosure, I'm always keep it real with you. I'm never gonna lie to you. I can only be me. I hate when people say shit like they can only be me. But anyway, so if you don't know, now I know this is not the most relevant topic, but I think it's still really important in terms of leadership, like kind of examining like what good leadership is and identifying what it is. And we're going to be talking about Ebro Darden. Ebro Darden, if you don't know, Ebro Darden has been a fixture at Hot 97 for a long time. He was the program director for a very long time. I think pretty much until around the time when Angel Martinez left and he became, a personality on the radio. And I always thought that was kind of weird because I used to hear his name a lot when I was younger. I would hear them always, talking to Ebro, Ebro this, Ebro that, right? And he was the program director, meaning that he was the person who was picking the songs, right? So before the internet, that position, that job, is extremely important because a person getting an opportunity that advances their career can create a whole timeline that can feed multiple families for years and years and years and years. You think about someone like Jay. As a matter of fact, what does go with Drake? Because this is unequivocally, undoubtedly, the not like us curse. I'm drinking some water. This is unequivocally. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but fuck it, we gonna use it. You know what I mean? It's called faith, right? But nah, this is definitely the not like us curse. And another thing too is that when let's say an artist like Drake gives someone, let's say a Fetty Wap a shot, the JB Block Boy, that person can put out more music, and now there's more interest in their music, which also would mean more money, right? Not only that, like I said, the whole timeline thing, right? So this creates a family tree, and this also creates different timelines because of fuck that Future, Kendrick Lamar. If Kendrick Lamar doesn't get that look on the Drake album, there is no momentum to go into Good Kid, Mad City. It would just kind of be the same as any other guy that was kind of popping online, and now he's putting out an album on a major label because they had been trying to do records. And listen, you know what? We gotta have a serious conversation about Dr. Dre was great at one time in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like music that everyone was listening to and really enjoyed. I think that was one time, and that was the '90s. Okay, I feel like that's another nigga that really rests on his laurels, and we had to wait 100 years for D. I don't. I don't get it. I don't understand, and maybe I don't need to understand. But anyway, so going back to the whole Ebro thing, so people with this conversation we having right now, that it has been going on since Ebro has announced that he's no longer with Hot 97 or his show is over. And we're gonna go ahead and the first thing we gotta do in terms of chopping this fable is looking at his video and doing a brief breakdown. Academics did a brilliant breakdown of what went wrong and how Ebro failed the station, right? And also Academics made a profound statement. He said he failed to have the foresight necessary for a position like his. So let's go ahead and check him out, man. So I've been listening to this conversation more so the whole weekend, and now I'm looking at the actual visual. We gotta break that down, man. So let's go this way. Andrew Cuomo play on me. Remember that shit? Hold on, yo. And then they tried, when the Trumpster got in office. Listen, man, I don't capitulate. Well, bro. Been doing this too long. Their licensing situation. Casino owner, the casino play on me. Remember that shit? And then they tried. Yeah, I'm trying to get my speaker to sync up. The Trumpster got in office. All right, here we go. If you look around all the major media outlets, look at all the major media outlets, man. All of them. Look at all of them. They all gotta fold up because they all trying to renew their deals, their licenses. Okay. What Fabi tell you is like, when you got a great co-star, hold on, let me go ahead and get big real quick. All right, here we go. We can get ready to chop this goddamn Fabi. You niggas, it's you ready. All right, listen, my whole body is ready. Let me make sure I'm on the right joint, man. Here we go. All right, man. So first and foremost, I know my people, right? As soon as I see that weed, I know everything about you, baby. I can see into your soul. I can see what ails you. I know how you deal with you. I know how you deal with your shit. When my man pulled that cone out, I realized, yo, so many people, so many careers have been affected. So many lives have been changed based off of this nigga just doing weed talk. Like right now, this is weed talk. Matter of fact, he not even letting you see his eyes right now, and it's supposed to be him bearing his soul. So the irony of the situation is also the fact that in this video he plugs his YouTube channel, and Academics does a brilliant breakdown of because of your lack of foresight, you didn't think ahead and recognize the world was changing around you. As a leader, or matter of fact, again, I was saying this yesterday about masculinity is also about preparedness and where you prepared to take it, and you always preparing to take it there. You understand me? So like what I've learned over the last couple of years, as time goes on, I had to start questioning what are you willing to do? How much harder are you willing to work? You understand? And ask myself, and like basically, and also appraising what have I been doing? Is it working? Or how much am I actually getting done? Let me go ahead and count. Like the other day, I had to count. Excuse me. The fact that I put numbers on how much I want to post every week, even if I don't hit that number, at least I started with a number, so I can recognize. Oh damn, I haven't posted. I haven't posted any shorts today. I didn't post that many shorts. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But I did record this many. I did post this many. You know what I mean? But anywho, but the overall point is, the more serious your position, the further ahead you have to think. The more plan A, B, C, and D. You have to have that kind of thinking. I remember years ago, right, when battle rap was starting to get big, right, and rather than embrace, it's another thing too. He wouldn't embrace new things and show respect. So I don't know how, but somehow Ebro was at Total Slaughter. Total Slaughter was an event that was kind of funded by like Slim Shady and them, and it was a show called Slaughterhouse that was basically like a battle rap competition with the members of Slaughterhouse as the judges, right? Yeah, Joe Budden, Royce the 5'9", Joel Ortiz, and I think Eminem pops up at some point. It was kind of weird because they pretty much had all like battle rap legends in the house. They weren't like all right. So so before, right? If you ever see the show Slaughterhouse, it resembles and looks a lot like it has the same feels like Making a Band. But here's the thing: Making a Band, these were all fresh faces that became famous because you saw them on Making a Band. Imagine if Sarah and E, Ness and Chopper were all people who had millions of views. Matter of fact, there was no such thing as views back then. You know what I'm saying? There was no such thing as being able to measure exactly how popping you are. You understand? Who's this? Ghost? Ghost Energy? It's 2:17 a.m. and you owe me a check. So there was no way of measuring how popping you were back then. I mean, you had album sales. You mostly had sales, right? That's the only way you could measure things. Whereas now, people could also measure selling potential via how many followers you got online. You know what I mean? So, Academics also makes a point about he saw the need to do multi-platform broadcasting, and I had no idea. Shout out to Academics. Academics been getting to the goddamn bag for a long time. I'm like, this nigga said he had a $2 million deal with Rumble. That's fucking crazy. To do streaming, right? I had no idea that homeboy, you know what I mean? And pardon me. Academics has had so much success because he was the first and he created a lane. And let me tell you something. That's also masculinity, is when you create your own way to the point where you can not only feed yourself, for other people because you can't make that much money unless a lot of people are eating. You understand me? But anyway, I'm gonna let Ebro talk some more. I'm talking a lot.
They all, well, in this particular situation, we'll get into more specifics another time.
My bad.
You know those 3 licenses that
Here we go.
they give a fuck about being able to bring their little nerdy friends to the concerts because that helps them raise money. They've been trying to get to me for years, bro. Years.
So when I watch the video now, it's so much more clear that he just found out that he got fired. The Not Like Us curses him. So listen, if you guys don't know, Ebro was out here wilding. At the height of the Kendrick and Drake beef, Ebro was out here wilding, right? And so kind of find out it's a lot of sticky shit going on over here, bro. Like this shit runs deep. So allegedly, Hot 97 and a lot of other broadcast entities are under investigation for payola. So it's specifically for the Not Like Us record and for the Kendrick records in general. So if you guys don't know, payola is basically when either a broadcaster, a podcast, a radio station, a DJ takes money to either have a guest on or to play a record. Okay, my soundboard. Like, goddamn, I ain't use my soundboard. Hold on, relax.
If you love me, let me get
relax, Yada. Goodness gracious, Yada always coming in here tripping shit.
It's always bound to happen to Onyeka for 2 major reasons.
You understand? All right, don't hold on, real quick.
Hey, Sugar Free.
What?
If she's standing outside, does that make her outstanding?
Ebro, this is not outstanding. It's not outstanding. A few of the things I want to touch on, pause, is that what you're going to see him doing this video, it's like a real, like, he does a lot of leftist Democratic shit. And again, not saying you're a bad person if you're leftist or Democratic, you know what I mean? I happen to just be me, right? But so you can understand like how I'm kind of looking at things, right, and to put it in a clear perspective, because what he's doing throughout the video is he's doing a lot of conflation. So the first thing that he notices is that they need me out the way, and to a certain degree, two things can be true at one time. He's talking like the position he's taking is, and which is also a super narcissistic thing. Whenever people can't really see how they could have fucked up, or they don't even find a way towards, you know what, this was my part in it. This was my role in it. This is what I'm going to do to be better, right? When someone comes into it this way, right, you also can see this is your delusion. Because you try to force your opinions on something that required a neutral perspective, right? Not a biased perspective, and that's something that academics talks about too. As a program director, the songs that are getting played, and also he's doing the same thing at Apple, and academics point that out too. You can't be in charge of choosing what music goes on these playlists and gets played at the radio station if you're someone who bases these things off of personal issues you have with someone that you think is quote unquote a bad guy, right? Hold on. Does he know? Do you know I'm a guy's guy?
A guy's guy.
I'm a guy's guy.
A guy's guy. Yeah. Guy LaFleur. Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
No? It's not making sense to you. Maybe I'm not even speaking English.
I'm speaking guy. Oh, I'm speaking Guyanese.
Maybe I'm not even speaking English. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking Guyanese. You know, everything we used to live is.
Goddamn, nigga, goddamn. I used to live.
Nah, nigga, they got Ebro, and Drake has responded to this shit. Yo, Drake is back outside the why you niggas up, boy. Yo, listen, we gonna get into another post about basically Drake hopping this nigga Ebro's DMs and saying die slower, pussy. He posted that axe under this nigga's name, son. All right, man. But anyway, so as you guys can see, the weed has come out, and right, and like I said before, when you see the weed come out, that's what I could tell. I know so much more about you when I see the weed come out, because listen, Everyone that does similar things does similar things. Everyone who work out, everyone people who have a nice body, they do similar things. People who make good money, most of the time they do similar things, especially if they live in the same area. All right. So everyone who smoke weed do similar things. And most of the time, whenever people smoke weed, right, they're smoking weed because they're trying to address. Make sure my mic is on. Hold on. Cool. Most of the time they're trying to address either an anxiety, maybe they need to calm down, maybe they need help sleeping. Sometimes it's body pain. Most of the time, it really what they're feeling that makes them feel good. Pardon me. I think that some people have more neuroinflammation than others. Neuroinflammation is the swelling of the brain, right? And what that will feel like is you can't think as clear. You have trouble sleeping. You're more irritable, right? You have a harder time coming to a reasonable decision or the best decision. So that's how you find yourself doing things that don't really make sense. Like your logic, at times you feel like your logic is off, right? Or and also anxiety. Whenever you feel these things, right, and it's not because you're in a specific situation or you're reacting to something, if you just find yourself in that overall state, that is a sign of neuroinflammation, which you needed some kimchi, eat mad eggs, walk for a long ass time, breathe air, and listen to Six Packs TV. Please subscribe to the channel. All right. Again, we are talking about lack of foresight, what being masculine really is. It's how prepared you are. How prepared you are to take it to the next level. How prepared you are to go down a certain path. Like again, one of my experiences being here is I had to keep learning about being prepared. Even and also in my last relationship, you know, where I felt that was that I wasn't as prepared to take it to the next level conversation wise. I wasn't as prepared to leave the relationship, which I had kind of been preparing, kind of like getting like mentally prepared for that a little bit. But I wasn't as prepared as I need to be, right? In terms of being able to say at any moment, you got it. And having a life for myself outside that. And again, I have complete faith that everything in my life is always working out perfectly because it always has. All right. It's important that you know that every single word you say, everything you do, everything is a cause. Everything counts. All right. I'm always kind. I'm always fair. I do what I can. But anyway, we're going back to the concept of where you prepared to take it, right? Even with the channel, I'm like, damn, I got to put more numbers on what I need to do. I need to expand my mind on what am I prepared to do, all right? And I'm getting to be more productive than before. I'm doing more YouTube shorts that have the custom made AI thumbnails on them, right? I'm doing more. I've mainly only been doing my own art for the thumbnails. You feel me? And the next step I'm going to get to is doing like way more prep. And I keep saying that what I'm going to do is tweet about the topics more and speak my mind and do it there so that I'm more prepared to do the show. You understand me? But again, we talking about foresight, being able to see ahead, and also biases. Okay, if you want to be an effective leader, because you have to bring yourself if you want to be successful, you have to bring yourself as close as you can to being able to recognize the objective, or basically what's factual, as much as possible. Like for example, people who are in really good shape, these are people who can accept. I cannot have that cake. I cannot eat like this. I cannot stay up this long. They're able to accept reality. So the more they're able to accept reality, they can accept. I'm actually not that hungry right now. I don't need anything more to eat. All right, and and I think that's also what leads to real emotional intelligence. So we're gonna let Ebro talk some more. So what he's doing is he's talking from the whole. He's appealing to the audience that is listening to him, which is going to be probably a lot of black folks. A lot of black folks are liberal. A lot of black folks always kind of thinking themselves as like Che Guevara. Had a hard time saying that. All right. I don't say Guevara every single day. That's a tough name, Guevara. Matter of fact, Still sharp and still. Shout out to Che Guevara. I mean, rest in peace, Che Guevara. Matter of fact, hold on, man. Where's Doris at? Here we go. Ooh, rest in peace, Doris. Anyway, I was shy about doing a show. I'm like, oh man, it's a little late. Man, listen. That woman who lived below me, who lived with her broke ass boyfriend, cause this nigga definitely broke, nigga, cause she yell at him like he broke, yell at him like he ain't got shit. Okay, this is how you go. When men can't produce, bro, it's gonna be some woman somewhere telling you to fuck off, just going crazy on you. And listen, believe it or not, women do like getting with a nigga that they can do that to. I'm just saying, like most women, they're not gonna tell you that, but like women be wanting some shit to like kind of like. I mean, they be wanting some shit to abuse, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm just saying, like, yo, it's so many cases of women who are like caretakers of children and elderly people and whatnot, and stealing from them and beating them up and stuff. You know what I mean? And eating their White Castles, all types of shit.
But Ebro in the morning on the YouTubes.
On the YouTube. Yo, he did not get a chance to think none of this shit out.
Subscribe.
I'm putting on here.
And we'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? Shayla. But yeah, people that I've worked with for a long time, man, they know who I am. They know what I stand for. The communities that listen and have supported us, they know. Y'all know how I rock. Y'all know what type of shit I pop.
So everybody go get your rap on.
Yeah. But I told you, listen, if you listen to Ebro in the morning, I told y'all they was hunting. I told you they was hunting. And we gonna keep talking shit. I told y'all they was hunting. Pat Rob. You know? But this shit is about that. So, buckle up. Because we're going to get active. Enjoy your holidays. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga is lighting the blunt with the match. That is some real weed head shit. He's light. Let me tell you what's happening right now. He's lighting the blunt, the cone with the match, because to not inhale butane. That's some real weed head shit too. Bro, I'm a little bit gassy. And Ebro, after all that time being around Cypher Sounds, Cypher Sounds, you should have known not to get gas. Goddamn, you know, fucking nigga. Hold on, man.
The whole show in Chicago with the bean out. First time.
Tonight, I want to see you use that gun.
Ebro, you may have to use that gun. So first and foremost, I could be wrong, right? And I'm not saying to be negative, but anyway, the not like us curse is active. Because you wasn't saying we gonna take a few steps back, right? And we're gonna also show, and academics also use this example, and this was an example of when Ebro was calling Drake a sickness, and really, again, weed talk. So basically, for years and years and years, 'cause I know how weed has moved, nigga. You have been you have been smoking your head off and then going to work at Hot 97, living a weed head's dream. Nigga, have you been living, goddamn, this makes more sense now. This is why you have not been productive. You know what I mean? My bad, I'm sorry. I had bought the battle rap thing, right? So I bought the battle rap thing up because I remember specifically, and somehow he got invited to Total Slaughter, the Total Slaughter event. Actually, a super legendary event, like an amazing card. You had T-Rex and Daylight. You know what I'm saying? Two amazing talents. I think you had Big T and Arsenal. Joe Button and How the Don battled. Joe Button actually battled that night. That was crazy. Shout out to Joe. I mean, it went a little weird and everything because I mean, this was a new era. So like now we have years and years and years of footage that kind of show you how a battle is supposed to go. Versus in 2014, things were kind of still trial and error. Joe's mic stopped working, and they gave him like an actual mic, which kind of really ruins the whole visual of a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like holding them because in battle rap in general, people love to see the artists move around and use their hands and dance and shit like that. And you having a mic in your hand, it's weird. You know what I mean? It's just weird in terms of the purposes of a battle, but that's neither here on the. I'm sorry, here nor there. But Ebro was there. I remember specifically, and I think he was at the fucking event, and he was still saying the shit, and he was basically saying, "Yeah, you know, I just can't get with battle rap on because basically he was saying was he didn't like that they wasn't rapping over beats when they was battling, and it was acapella." And he said, "Yeah, so when I hear it that way, it's like spoken word." Battle rap, like you really gotta realize that battle rappers, right? The people who are famous in battle rap, these are people whose battles get millions of views. A lot of people have to know who you are. You get a lot, especially having TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all these different platforms where people clip things up and put them online, you can get a lot of different impressions. So battle rappers are like it can be very, very fucking famous, right? So not only that, the genre and the culture in general exploded after that, and it became a huge thing. You see all types of celebrities. Matter of fact, Drake has been heavily involved in battle rap, which is another reason I felt like the community like really failed Drake because like Drake was someone who actually put a lot of money into battle rappers' pockets. I'll give you one example in particular. Drake was responsible for helping him get the deal with caffeine, which was worth millions of dollars. During that time, Smack was able to basically throw free events that were not pay per view that you could watch for free on the Caffeine app, right? Not only that, all the artists got bigger purses than they've ever gotten. Drake came to the second Ultimate Madness tournament, that they had on URL, and put up an extra 75K, and them brothers got to split $175,000. Kendrick ain't never did nothing like that. Drake was there back in 2011 when the legendary DNA and Disaster battle, two of the greatest freestylers of all time. Legendary battle. He was there and he put extra bread up for them brothers. Them brothers were battling for peanuts. I think like Danny was doing the battle for free. And because Drake was there, he was able to get a little more money. Drake was there for Known 5. He's there when Surfing Rock is battling. And when Clips and Hollow Don is battling. Yo, Drake is there. You've never seen Kendrick or nobody from TDE at none of these events ever. At really any of them. I think maybe King of the Dot. I could be wrong. So basically, like I said before, Ebro has been living a weed head's dream because all weed heads want to have a job where they can smoke weed before they come to work, not get tested, right? And for the most part, kind of like not be productive. I'm just saying. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, yeah, man, yeah, because that kind of explains why you weren't able to embrace the future. Because when he said he didn't like battle rap, and mind you, this is when it's starting to really blow up. Him saying that he didn't like battle rap because they weren't rhyming on beats, and it's like, damn, bro, like that's kind of how can I say? I think that's what they say antiquated, right? We don't do that no more. At that time, we're not doing that. That's already been done. This is a new genre. No, they're not rapping on beats. No, nigga, that's not what this is. But as an older guy, okay, and like let's say series like Freestyle Friday, I forget MTV used to have one where MCs would battle, go back and forth, right, and it was always on beat and everything, right. So around the Smack DVD era, shout out to Smack DVD. Smack DVD is are the founders of Smack URL, right? So Smack DVD was pretty much like a walking, living source magazine where Smack was going to they neighborhoods, going to niggas' hoods, going to the studio. You seeing guns, you seeing gang members, you seeing explicit shit. Sometimes you might be seeing some bitches and everything, right? And it was like it was the kind of interview you would never see on TV, right? They could talk about things they never would talk about on TV. Sometimes they might do a performance of an unreleased song. It was really amazing, honestly. And at the end of the DVD, there would be a battle, and that's how names like Jay Mills versus Murder Mook came about. That's how Murder Mook and Loaded Lux came about. That's how that's how this whole genre. Now, this was always going on in Harlem, so this is really a style that originates in Harlem, right? In terms of how we know it today, right? Because again, Harlem is rich with culture, specifically hip hop culture. So a lot of really talented people, like Dipset, Mace, this Harlem World in general, Dame Dash, all these people. You know what I mean? So that's battle rap as we know it now. So people always wanted to see these battles at the end of the DVD and everything. And around that time, when I was popping, the Fight Club was popping. So Fight Club, that format was two MCs battling over a pool table, and there was always a lot of money on the floor. Winner takes all. You understand? And that was the same sort of format, except these rounds were timed. So it would generally be about 90 seconds, which would be unheard of for like a battle of money on the line now. Like these niggas probably want to have like 4 or 5 minute rounds. You understand me? But that was back then. So this is not something that came out of nowhere. But this is where like that style of acapella battle rap kind of comes from, and this is when it became famous. Now that was 2005. This nigga is on a camera in 2015 saying that he doesn't like battle rap because they don't rhyme over the beat. So what he's showing is you failed. Like you think that your preferences, or how can I say, it's like this thing when people think their preferences are like reality. It's like, no sir, that's what you like. This is popping for a reason. Also, what also means is that you have to have expansive taste. Pause. So me in particular, right? I may not listen to everything, but I know how to enjoy things. I know how to find what's good in something, right? Not only that, what it also equates to is knowing how to give shit a chance. If you ever find yourself in a space where you can't try new things or you don't want to listen to new music, that is an exercise I think all people should do. You should force yourself, if you want to be watching TV and watch shit on your phone, force yourself to watch something that you wouldn't normally watch or you haven't watched yet, or something different, right? And force yourself to listen to an album that you have not listened to yet, or you haven't heard yet, or from someone you haven't heard yet. You know what I mean? Because what you'll find yourself doing is you'll get in too much of a routine. Me personally, I will watch the same shit on Netflix. I got Netflix so I can watch Seinfeld. I look at having Netflix on these platforms as it's there when I need it. All right? And coming to 2026, I will have these hoes on subscription.
You're listening though, but it's cool.
Well, it's cool though.
I respect it.
I respect it. You know what I'm saying?
I heard it was big, but that sounds ridiculous.
Enjoy your holiday. Happy holidays. Let's get active. Don't.
All right, so listen now. I saw when he started smoking, he started getting more confident, right? Listen, I know my folks. This was all in a matter of like the last half hour. Okay, because the way he's talking, the speed of how he's talking and whatnot, that's how someone sound when they got a lot on their mind. All right, when they got hit with a big old bowl of reality. Someone just gave him a bowl of reality cereal. How's that taste, my friend? Guy's guy. That be a guy's guy.
A guy's guy.
A guy's guy.
Yeah, Guy Lafleur. Guy Fieri. No? It's not making sense to you? Maybe I'm not even speaking English. Huh?
he is speaking as if he is in disbelief, like he don't know how this could have happened. So for someone with his now, mind, this guy has a lot of experience and he's been a Hot 97 for a long time. But you know what's funny about Hot 97 is this, because Hot 97 is but becoming a bit of a dinosaur, right? So even with this video right here, like I'm seeing so many different things with like his delivery. For one, this is like an authentic expression. I think he's being real. Like he's not really performing this and not really milking it for all it's worth. You understand? You can kind of tell that this was like an improv type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like a real, like, all right, well, fuck, I gotta take my destiny into my own hands type of thing. But also at the same time, academics also made this point. You knew this may happen or this was going to happen, right? And you don't seem to have been prepared for it. And again, we keep seeing the theme of you have been you've had such pivotal roles or really important roles in hip hop, and you have failed to look ahead and take action. That's another thing that makes you masculine. Masculinity is the ability and willingness to take action, which also again brings us back to preparedness. How are you preparing? Like for example, I'm preparing for this new world by listen. I'm like, yo, I know I can do this content shit. I was made to do this content shit. I love to do this content shit. You understand me? I be watching y'all niggas online too. You boys ain't got no bodies, man. So before Ghost, you know what I would love? You ever seen Face Off? And Nicolas Cage has that freaky scene when he says, "See this peach? I can eat this peach for hours." Pause. If y'all love me, send me a whole case of Ghost energy drinks, and I will drink all of them. Online. All day. All the time. So, yeah, man. So he wasn't prepared to act. This is all on the fly. Streaming and content has been monetized for a long time. Axe said he was already getting to 100 grand a month in 2014, my nigga. So cause Axe was one of the first people that was streaming online and then using his gaming streaming to talk about other things, right? So academics is like a millionaire like several times over. This guy makes millions of dollars a year, bro. Because he streams on multiple platforms. Also, these platforms will pay. YouTube hasn't started doing this yet. I think that's going to probably be the next wave. YouTube is going to become like the new record label because they can get their money off you. They can get their money off you. All right. But platforms like Kick and Twitch, they will pay the content creator to stream on the platform. Just to stream on the platform, right? So even the videos that we're going to react to, those are on multiple platforms. That nigga's getting to it. But again, it was because he was able to see where the game is going. That's why I'm like, yo, I look at my favorite content creators and see, okay, y'all have a certain ceiling with how many views y'all can get. I don't want to be the kind of content creator. I want to be the kind of content creator where I could talk my shit and move my. Also, just giving y'all a show. You know what I'm saying? Giving y'all a show. I'm trying to tell you, you want to see me doing it all, baby. All while just delivering fresh raps. Because I ain't gonna never stop motherfucking rapping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never gonna stop motherfucking rapping.
Bitch.
What?
Bitch ain't never been happy.
Relax. Listen, that's why I'm doing Big Girls with Potential all 2026. That's probably what Ebro need too. He need to go ahead and get you a big girl to cuddle on real quick. Shoot, I might have to find me one. Yo, big girls be too mean, bro. It ain't never worth it, yo. It's always unpleasant. I think like, again, when you are younger and your testosterone is higher, you can deal with so much more shit. I'm almost 40 years old. I can't deal not like up close. I can't deal with no drama up close. All right. Listen, 2026. I'm also saying less in 2026. And also, we getting more money in 2026. All right, what else we got here, man? Also, too, I want to mention one more thing, right? What Ebro is doing is very feminine. This is like a real feminine place. This is also how like, and again, this is Six Pass TV. Subscribe to the channel. I want to address how this is when I have to address the bitch in you, right? So see, right now he may not realize it, but this is some bitch shit. I'm not saying he a bitch, but this is some bitch shit. So throughout the conversation, right, what you see that he's trying to get you on his side. He's not really explaining the situation objectively. He's trying to get you on his side. He's saying certain things. So he's saying, old boy is a casino owner. What does that have to do with you? No, people are trying to renew their contracts and this and that, and this and that. No, what it really is also is that like, fam, they real and academics point this out. It's a lot of overhead to employ these niggas. Yo, you are a dinosaur. Your job is not really a job no more because you got to realize that they can get a content creator in there who's going to make that show way more interesting than you ever could because you got to realize that people like me, people like academics, right? People like an angry man, we have to actually go in there and perform this shit. We got to go in there and know how to talk and hold people's attention. All right, now, because the people who are watching the Angry Man, watching Anton, watching any of these people, these are people, even someone like Shannon Sharp. As much of a Bama as he is, right? I got that stick on me. All right, now Skip. He still is. He is good at performing. He understands content. All right, he knows how to engage. He knows how because his role is to be. He's interviewing. All right, his role is to ask questions, whether they're dumb questions and stuff like that. Listen, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. All right, these are my hands. All right, so let's go ahead and move on, man. Is anything else here? Real quick, let's run it back. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that we clear some shit.
They give a fuck about being able to bring their little nerdy friends to the concerts because that helps them raise money. They've been trying to get to me for years.
Going back to the bitch made shit, he's trying to get you on his side. He's trying to make it seem like you're under attack. I'm so awesome. I'm so real that they gotta get rid of me. If you ever been around like a narcissistic female, at some point she's gonna tell you that she's having problems at her job because they don't like her. And she never gets into why don't these people like you? What are you doing to make them not like her? I remember like my ex, like I remember at her job, this is like years ago, like she would talk about these issues she has with these women. And one time she said, yeah, she acting like that because I'm cute, because I'm prettier than her. And I'm like, damn. Don't get me wrong, the girl might have been acting a way because she's more attractive than her. Maybe I don't know. But also, I know this person, and I know that you are a bit of a bitch. So and again, all tall women are bullies. Okay, most tall women. I mean, unless they come across because they got to realize that a bigger person is less afraid of smaller people. All right. So if she's a bigger woman, most of the time she doesn't really like a lot. I mean, a lot of like women who are tall, they have to check that shit. They have to work on being feminine. They're not really naturally feminine. You know what I'm saying? They have to kind of overcompensate for it to come across. Because again, when you're and also too, you can't be big and tall. When you're a woman, you cannot be fat and tall. All right, because it's a whole lot of you just coming towards people. All right, I mean, listen, you can be, but you will be a giant. Okay.
I'm a decent man from the city of demons. Niggas be scheming.
What's up?
Niggas be shooting.
He also keeps bringing up money too. So and also talking like, goddamn. So you tell me that this many broke people are listening to you? You think this many broke people listening to your show? Because only a broke person, who has no understanding of resources and time and how things actually move, are going to sympathize with you because you're saying this is about money. They want to raise money. I'm like, nigga, your job is to help them make money. It costs too much to have y'all up there. It's like, yo, y'all are dinosaurs, and what y'all don't even make sense no more. So what we're going to see is, and again, it's possible they could very much possibly continue this show on YouTube, right, and do well. The only way that's going to happen is you guys are going to have to actually learn entertainment. You're going to have to really learn how to perform your shit and understand content, because y'all have not been doing content. Okay, you have been given an audience. All right, you are on the airwaves. That's totally different than someone seeking you out or you competing in the sea of potentially hundreds of thousands of content creators. Okay, if you see my video right now, thank you for watching, man. Subscribe to the channel. But let's go ahead and take a few steps back, man. Before we get into this drawing, man.
Drake is not that important. The reason Drake's in this is because he is a sickness in the game. It could have been any artist. It's what Drake represents. We've been saying this for months. Drake is not that important.
This is what academics was talking about, where you cannot have a job like how you have and be having these kinds of takes, right? So it also says that, all right, well, how you're going to do your job is based on what your personal opinions are of people. So let me tell you something. Ebro is the kind of fan, a kind of hip hop fan that for one doesn't have good taste. All right, a lot of niggas who get into the boom bap shit, you don't have good musical taste. You're not able to even open your mind up to the future. So I'm gonna wrap up soon and everything. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm gonna play a video tomorrow. We're gonna get more into the history of this kind of all these fails. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna find a clip of him saying what he said about battle rap, and I'm gonna find some other stuff. But him having a little Uzi Vert up there, and he's playing Quiet Storm in 2015 for Lil Uzi Vert to rap to. That shit is the equivalent of, pardon me. That shit is the equivalent of it being my era when I was young and it's 2002 and you put on Paid in Full. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, what? Man, I'll be like, nigga, bro, what is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because by that point, we were out of that. Like that, the flows that you were doing a Quiet Storm, the beats have changed, the BPMs have changed, the flows have changed. So the way that say Lil Uzi Vert raps, it just that that wouldn't really fit over like a beat like that. Not that it's impossible, but that's not how he raps. And Lil Uzi Vert made a point to him that this is back when Uzi Vert was on Ebro's show. This is back before he blew up, and basically Ebro was damn near telling him, you're not going to have a career. You know what I'm saying? You know, or he was joking with him about about rapping over old man beats. And it's like, yo, he had a point. And Uzi Vert said, Uzi said, there's gonna be a lot of young dudes coming up here, and they not gonna want to rap to that, right? And Ebro totally missed the moment. You know, not only that, understanding that the archetype that this is a new wave. These are new kinds of artists, right? And what older people, especially like black men in the black community and everything, millennials and Gen X, what niggas always failed to do was understand how to teach the youth. You cannot teach young people by making them feel as though they're wrong. Because that's what I'm saying. You can tell them, you can critique and whatnot, but if you're constantly critiquing them based on things that are natural to them or feel good to them, then they have a hard time respecting you, right? Because when you were young, like, you can't outright do that too much. You can do it a little bit and everything tactfully, you know, maybe in a joking way, but you can, but this again, as far as y'all rapport, because you listen to someone more when you feel when you kind of trust them. You understand what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I do think that as an older guy, I think that is what's missing from a lot of like young guys, is that I can hear that your foundation, like your how can I say, like your for example, someone like Whitney Houston, sounded how she sounded because she had so much practice, so much time doing music and singing and stuff like that. So she was actually trained, and that's why she was such an amazing talent. So she had put so much effort and work into her craft. You know what I mean? And whereas with these rappers, you can hear that you have not been rapping forever, or you haven't gone through the phase of poetry and battling. You went straight to songwriting, and which is not really songwriting. You guys kind of be vibing. You're not really necessarily trying to write the best lyrics. And best lyrics doesn't mean most complicated lyrics. I'm talking about just great lyrics in general. So don't get me wrong. And listen, and there's a lot of guys that are not able to freak a beat. They're not able to, and it's becoming a bit of an antiquated thing to be able to hop on an instrumental or hop on a song that's not yours and kill the verse. So I think those are things I think people need to still practice. But I guess the way it's going to go now is that whatever songs are really popping and whatnot, you'll do your verse to that song, which I'm going to start doing myself. Pause. Just to, again, just keep content going, because my thing is that whether or not people listening or not, I want to keep pursuing becoming a better artist and a better performer of my songs, and being able to do amazing vocal performances of my records on beat, and perfecting that and expanding in this world, and expanding on my ideas of of what great songs are. You know what I mean? Delivering great songs, because I haven't even made my best songs, and also I want to make songs for other people. I want to be able to give my records to other people, or them be starting points for other people. And then they can take it to the next level. I would love to get some young artists that I can make music, and and then and I can give it to them. Of course I still want my money though. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, relax.
Goddamn, lady, goddamn.
You know what I'm saying?
I did the whole show in Chicago with the bean out. First time going.
Ebro do got a bald head under there. So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up real quick. Let me see where we at. So the controversy is about Namaji. These niggas is so fucking soft, yo. I swear, nigga, like the Drake do the smallest thing. Rosenberg crashed out so mean. This nigga says, "Why is this hard to defend the lame shit he does?" This nigga Drake posted an axe, and the internet and Twitter has been in the motherfucking frenzy. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on, bro. Can't see it, man. Let's play this shit again.
The reason Drake's in this is because he is a sickness in the game. It could have been any artist. It's what Drake represents. We've been saying this for months.
Whenever niggas start talking like this, don't listen to them niggas, man. All right. First and foremost, I ain't gonna lie, man. Listen, only nigga I respect that don't take off his hat is Angry Man. You know what I'm saying? And that's real talk. Ebro, no respect for you, my nigga. All right? Because usually I don't trust niggas that don't take off their hat. That's first and foremost. That is weed talk. He started making a point, and he was trying to, just piece the shit together. Like, when he says sickness, I think he means, virus, which is still weird. That's a weird thing to say when you're in charge of who gets to get their song played. And not only that, right, what it also does is, it doesn't matter if someone's right or wrong. If people can hear you, right, you can influence them, and vice versa, right? So when you make these kind of statements, what you do is plant ideas in people's minds. That's why you literally cannot be around certain people. When I stopped being around my ex, I stopped. Basically, my self-esteem was able to grow even more. Because it always bugs me out how I'm like, God damn, you know what? There was a time where I didn't think I could be this good at making content. Or there was a time where I wasn't doing content like this. All right? There was a time where my show wasn't developed. I mean, I've been recording on the same camera, man. Listen, when me and my ex broke up, she had gave me this SLR camera that I was using. And truth be told, it wasn't really coming out good, honestly. It was good and everything, right? But it was, whatever, right? And when she pulled that stunt, yo, I packed all that shit up. I packed that camera up and everything. I was like, yo, fuck, yo, you can have it. Like when I told my boy Al that, he was like, yo, she trying to get your attention. You know what I mean? Because I mean, at the time I didn't see it that way. I mean, I had a feeling that the idea was supposed to be, um, I'm gonna get on the phone and call her and be like, I don't know. I guess fighting about the camera or arguing about the camera. You know what I mean? And I was like, nah. You can have all your shit back. You can have all your shit back. Now I wasn't prepared to take it there, but again, like I said before, preparedness. These are tenets to live by when it comes to masculinity. You have to be prepared to take it there at all times. You have to be prepared. You have to have an idea of what am I willing to do in this situation. Man, I can't wait for this money to come in so I can start having more free time to invest my time into other different things. Because as soon as that money comes in, I'm going to start doing like more live streams. We'll be in here getting motherfucking active. But I wanted to get into this other post real quick. Matter of fact, real quick, let's see what academics talking about. Let me see. Did he stop the stream yet?
To 50 like how he responded to me, we're going to have a discussion about what type of dude Mano is. Okay? But I think they say gangsters don't really pick and choose. So I'm hoping I'm going to get the response in the car. But we'll see. Anyway, let's get back to this. It's kind of depressing. I'm still waiting for the Drake conversation. Hold on. I got timestamps. It said it should have came already.
Look,
boss.
I was interviewing politicians in local politics and talking about shit that was going on in the streets and voting and shit before it was.
Come on, bro. Let's get over this.
And for the white people who wanted to be a part of it,
I put up a tweet.
Here we go. I think this is about to come on.
Let me see here. Wow, DJ Vlad is still tweeting.
Wait, he's still going?
Yeah.
He's one of the ones I'm thinking about. He loves the money.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Yo, these niggas is like, oh, so and so still going. Yo, y'all know y'all shitted on Vlad at every. You know, Vlad is the most shat on person in hip hop history. Like when it comes to media, everybody used to just say this guy's the Fed. They used to use their platform to dissuade artists from ever voting Vlad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have less of a reason to keep going. You gotta let Vlad go. Bro, Vlad couldn't even get a washed up rapper 10 years ago, and he had to still survive. You realize that Vlad had to make his own stars. He had to like find some nigga who was kind of washed up that would give him a chance. Bro, he was interviewing niggas like my son, and my son's a bomb.
Yo, listen. Vlad used to have all kinds of people on there, bro. Like he really did create his own lane, and this shit take vision, bro. It's like you really listen, because like Vlad been doing this shit a long time. Vlad makes a lot of fucking money on just YouTube. So Vlad TV was like World Star back in the day. So there was, Vlad TV was the actual website. So he transitioned into YouTube. He was one of the first people on YouTube posting content. So what he also would do is just pretty much just have people who are semi-famous speak on certain subjects. So maybe it might be a viral subject. It may be a thing that they was involved in. But what he also did was he covered battle rap a lot. Vlad actually had he was involved in the league. I think it was called the Killers Battle League. And there's actually a verse on his channel from Lord of Lux from back in the day. You can check it out. Awesome verse, right? And I believe some of the battles were on there. I think Math and Rex battled there. I believe. I could be wrong, right? Pardon me. So Vlad, so this is about 2013. It's about 2013 to 2015 or so. He would have battle rappers on there. They would talk about battle rap and they're just different shit. He would have Surf on there. So so again, back then, we weren't even using the word content yet, right? Also, a lot of people were not aware of how to make money on YouTube. Like, I mean, if I would have known how much money I could have been making on YouTube, I would have never stopped. I think I started back in like 2014, and around the time my son, of course, now I was getting involved with my son's mother again, and of course, I don't know, I don't know. I was doing videos for a little bit, and I just fell off. But had I known the kind of money that YouTubers make, I never even YouTube how to make money on YouTube. At times, I have to always check my cell phone, realizing what era I'm in. Right? I even be having this conversation with my homeboys about AI and writing with AI. I'm like, no, the AI is your partner. You have to lean into understanding how to write. So, for example, I know how to use the AI to give me titles for my videos now, right? I'm like, all right, even with making your music, no, you have to be specific, right? And be specific about what you're looking for. I'm like, all right, so now when I'm writing my verses, I don't really use what the AI tells me necessarily because the AI can't really speak or come up with the same ideas because the things I'm saying are too specific, like they come from me. So you can't really replicate things that I would say necessarily, but but it's certain things where it's like, you know what, that's a good detail, right? Or that fits there very well. Relax, bro. Relax, bro.
Heard it was big, but that sounds ridiculous.
Vlad, what is basically the media outlet that got given, that got blackballed, and never ever, he probably complained, but he never went out of business. He worked through it. Now it's a good look to be on Vlad, I believe, right? But all of these guys use their platform to shit on Vlad. Yo, you go over there. They used to tell artists, if you go fuck with this guy, he's the police. So they were actively trying to hopefully get Vlad out of business. What ended up happening? They got fired, and Vlad he's in his peak. Yes, if I'm Vlad, I'm talking shit every day.
He loves money talk.
Like,
is that it?
Academics about Ebro's morning show getting canceled. He threw up an axe because I got axed, and about Ebro's. So that's because
I'm thinking about he loves the money. He loves money talk.
These guys in real time. This is good, man.
Let me see. I forgot somebody said something, and I said that's because Drake is right wing.
You said Drake. You said that's because Drake and Ack are both right wing.
Drake leaves comment under post about Ebro's morning show getting canceled. He threw up an axe because I got axed, and I said that's because Drake is right wing, and so is Sack. I called him Sack.
I like that too.
That's a good joke, brother. That's a good joke. We need you back on air here. Go ahead.
But I didn't think that was controversial. Like,
is that it?
Sackademics, sack of shit, openly campaigned for Trump.
He went to Mar-a-Lago. He was on Rumble. He's on Rumble.
I didn't think that was controversial. Then and Drake was on podcast.
Now, chat, and again, I always have to. If being right wing means that I'm a free citizen, that I publicly and openly supported Obama, right? And I voted for Obama, and I also voted for Trump. I think
I'm gonna keep it real with you, man.
Very opposite. But I guess if I ever support a Republican, I am a right wing guy. But if I support a Democrat, no one says left wing, right? Okay, fine.
With people who were openly and supporting podcasts for people who was openly campaigning for Trump.
Oh yeah, gifting them Rolexes and rubbing up on the side.
And then the community notes, readers added context.
And it's what I'm talking about, right? And this is why this shit is going to fail, because people are speaking more on how these kind of voices of people who talk like this, they lead you to a broke mindset. They lead you to an unhappy fucking life. I'm just saying, because most people who are leftists, they come across as unhappy. They come across as they have a chip on their shoulder because you're not actually managing what your problems are. Because the thing is that we got to a point where a lot of people who are Democrat and leftists and everything, you live in delusion. You're the same kind of people who wanted to support trans rights and men being able to go into women's bathrooms. So if I had a daughter, if my sister's in the bathroom and wanted to use the bathroom, a nigga could just walk up in there. All right, and really anything can happen. Anything can happen. Not only that, nigga, I'm like, yo, if I'm in the bathroom, I don't want no lady coming in the bathroom with me. No, man, it's weird, bro. It's weird. Coming around me with that short haircut. Ain't nothing like a thick stud though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, chill for what? Who is this?
Know what I mean? Anyway, I had to stop the shit because I'm like, bro, y'all gotta stop doing that, bro. There's now the comment section really matters. Cause he's doing a lot of like this. It's like signaling, right? Cause we have this thing going on with black folks in particular, which is like it's the most ignorant shit ever. Where if you want to get black folk, really, if you want to get poor people excited, just say Trump or blame it on Trump. At some point in the video, Ebro says when the Trumpster got in office, nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with your terrible taste in music. That has nothing to do with your terrible decisions. That's nothing to do with the fact that, yo, you should not, like, you really have lucked your way into a lot of different shit.
You know, that's my favorite on X. Drake has never openly said which side of the political aisle he's on. However, there are times when he has openly supported left-wing causes. And so then everybody put up causes he supported, left-wing causes he supported. I don't know, what's a left-wing cause, by the way? Charity?
I mean, I think he's, I'll put it this way. I think you're oversimplifying if you say Drake's right wing. Like, I get why you did it, and I do go, But yeah, like, he was on the Artists for Ceasefire list. Like, he does do things that are not in line with the right wing. And he definitely didn't used to be. If he is that, it's definitely...
Marjorie Taylor Greene is currently on the Politicians for Ceasefire. Is she not right wing?
It's a... Wow. Very good point. Do I have an air horn?
Like, what are we talking about?
And the point they're trying to make is, and again, this is Bert, like, bro, you cannot keep making this kind of content. The point they're trying to make is, if you're a Republican, you're a racist. If you're a Republican, you hate black people. If you're a Republican, you hate people who are different things. Like, it's like you're basically a hateful person. Whereas, like, for the most part, even with this show, and just in general, like, I mean, for the most part, like, leftist people promote hate. Like, again, that whole Charlie Kirk shit, that really exposed the left in ways that, like, in terms of who's at the core of this, and we got to see all the crazy people coming online, and it just really like, yo, this is who's actually in this party. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's crazy folks everywhere, but celebrating the death of someone who never did anything to you is wild.
That's fair. That's fair. You're right. That doesn't
our
mean
sound effects are trash in this new iteration.
Oh, man. Well, it's early. It's day one. It's day one.
Listen. We got
a fair
things
point
to unpack. But anyway, I just love that. But speaking of Drake, are we going to talk about these DMs?
That's where you want to go already?
I mean, what else? I mean, listen.
Well, yeah, so I called Ebro. I thought maybe it was just me who got smoked because I was already outside my deal, etc. And Ebro picked up. He's like, yo. I'm like,
yo, this is the first time I watch these niggas and I realize why they're off air. They're just like, like, you could tell they're also mentally checked out. Like, I'm so, like, caught up in all the happenings that I know everything that happened. Like, these guys are just kind of, like, winging it. Like, they might need a producer to kind of, like, print. Like, these are old niggas. So, they're like, here's the tweets. Here's the responses. Then it went to this platform. Then Axe said this on stream. Then Drake said this. Go through it sequentially. Because right now, like, you're kind of watching me like, wait, why are we watching this again?
God, I guess you already know the news. He's like, they clipped you? I was like, yup. And he was like, me too. Ha! And then that felt good. I was like, oh, am I out here on my own? This is trash.
Nah.
And then I was like, damn, they got all of us. And then we waited. We hit the group text, and like 5 minutes later, here comes Laura with they got me too. And then the surprise one for me was Chris running through.
God damn. So I got fired all at the same time, and then got in the group chat, like, so we all fired. God damn, it's kind of an L. Cause I feel like this is one of those things where, like, you're kind of pretending that it's all good. It's not all good. And we started saying Rosenberg and Ebro, it's okay if it's not all good. And again, I mean, they really can have success. They just have to figure out the show, and they have to figure out like content. This is gonna be different now because now in content, people have to choose to watch it, which they was before. People watch Hot 97, but it's not because they really enjoy how y'all do an interview. All right, and not only that, like this is really a great opportunity for them to reinvent themselves, and that's the thing about masculinity. When men are not masculine, they're not necessarily going to be able to learn from their mistakes because they're not able to take themselves out of the victim mindset. They're not able to take themselves out of the feminine where they're being too creative. All right, women have to be careful not to overimagine, to be too creative. Men have to be careful to not overmanage. All right, or not to use too much force because when you do so, bad shit could happen. Right, so when men are not as masculine as they should be, they're not able to problem solve effectively. So again, problem solving, preparation, and taking action, these are all tenets to being truly masculine because these are the things that make you masculine, right? Because they all revolve around that. Even being ready for a fight, those are all revolves around preparedness, right? The discipline, just all these different things that it would take for you to be ready for an actual confrontation. I mean, just all this different shit, and also that's still also factor into that's effective problem solving. What if I'm ever in a confrontation? What if I have to defend myself? How would I do so? I mean, that's an effective plan. But anyway, I'm gonna play a little more, then we're gonna stop.
Oh, I didn't know Griff was gonna get clipped. Why they clip Griff?
I was like, Griff is one of the most hardworking, generally.
Wait, these niggas had a I got fired group chat? Hilarious. I need to see the screenshot for that.
He like just keeps his head down.
Supports everything.
Supports everything. Shows up to summer shit. I didn't think that. By the way, also, dumb. Are you gonna try to launch a new show?
Yo, your bosses told me what y'all were doing was highway robbery. Y'all was robbing niggas without a ski mask. You didn't even have the audacity to bring a gun. Y'all were just wasting company's time and robbing the company. Why? Lack of effort, lack of talent, and just a whole bunch of hate. That's what I was told. Okay, I'll give y'all the HR exit interview.
Probably want an experienced morning show. Y'all are dumb. That's dumb. And also, it's important. Natalie said this to me yesterday. It's very important. When I talk about my frustration, which will happen over time, I really want to make a clear delineation. You are never going to hear me talk shit about Hot 97. That place is literally in my DNA. You will only hear me talk shit about MediaGo. The company that now owns them. I don't want to Hot 97 for me will always have a positive connotation.
No, that's
so
fair.
much longer. It's literally that's us.
Well, and I think too, Hot 97. Once again, my commitment to Hot 97 was really based around what it meant in New York City and for the greater community. Right? And I say it 1,000 times, man. A lot of the work that I did up there and giving space so we can have the conversation.
Oh, save it, man. Come on.
Community, trying to better people's lives. Literally everything you could up
2 decades. Even though they were never the top show in their market, were probably unprofitable the last 10 years. And the day they get let go, the first thing they do is trash the company instead of being appreciative for what the company did for them.
It's always bound to happen to Onyeka for two major reasons.
They licking boots and gunning for slots because if you're any of these guys, you would love to have access to the artists and the frequency and the brand.
Yo, this is where Ebro is also out of touch. You could probably say that with Apple because artists are forced to go to Apple. These days, I could get any interview y'all could get, and I could get the ones y'all can't get.
Yeah.
The top artists do not want to sit down with y'all. Let's be very clear. Like, so when he's talking about act, I don't know which platform he's talking about. Put it like this. Guys like this are such dinosaurs, they don't realize the artists these days don't even talk to y'all. The artists talk to
Oh man, cut you off. All right, it's cool, whatever. So, amazing point. Real talk. I've been watching academics a little more often, right? And I really can tell you, like, you know what? He actually is very good at breaking shit down. I didn't realize how insightful he was. Because sometimes, depending on how people deliver their content and how they speak and whatnot, it makes you take them more or less seriously, right? So now that I'm watching him more often, I'm seeing, okay, I can hear the intelligence more. I can hear, because he make it sound effortless. Because a part of doing content is being able to make it feel like I'm kicking it with you. You understand what I'm saying to you? So let's go ahead to the drinking versus Ebro. So
Die slower, pussy. We got some shit for you. Ebro reply.
Yo, that was a phony ass laugh. First of all, Drake not playing, bro. So these are the Drake DMs, fam. These hating ass niggas could pretend that they don't know what's up. Nigga, if any of you ever got a tweet from Hove or a text from Hove saying die slower pussy, we got some shit for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, yo, Drake is the most hated because, like, no, it's crazy. Niggas will make statements and take stances based off of the fact that they know that they'll get support for hating on Drake. Right? So, I'm going to tell you what Drake is probably referring to. It's the only thing that could be referring to. Now, months ago, we told you that Pete Rosenberg and Ebro, they're getting ready to get fired because all these stations are under investigation for payola. So they got rid of them for several reasons. You know what I'm saying? And like Ak was saying, that show is antiquated. Like, people do not like you. Because now we can measure if people like you or not. You couldn't do that before. We have a whole comment section. You don't actually really have a fan base because you wasn't working on having like a good show. All right. And even the virtue signaling. You understand? Y'all having a whole conversation that's predicated on the idea that if you're a Republican, that basically you're a bad person. Like, fam, come on. Y'all have to broaden the conversation. Because at some point you have a responsibility to your listeners to help them remove their biases. You have to remove your bias if you're going to report on things, if you're going to speak on things, right? You also have them playing the victim. You have shitted on this man's career for I don't know how long, right? And not only that, you're one of the voices, right? Because at the end of the day, whether you're not talented at content or not, you still have had a very loud voice. And during that beef, he's a part of why people believe the narrative. Because again, that was a narrative. Like, Kendrick being an amazing rapper, that's a fucking narrative. That's not, like, for the most part, you've been an interesting rapper. We really can't say that we can play a lot of your music and a lot of your songs from your albums and enjoy it because you have your own lane, which is cool. But I feel like it's a lane that people try. Cause people feel, I feel like people feel smart by saying they like it. I feel like people feel edgy because again, that's what you are. You're kind of an edgy, weird, quirky kind of nigga. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. But putting you next to Drake is fucking crazy. You don't have the range. You can't put Kendrick on a reggae record. You can't put Kendrick on London. Matter of fact, you haven't done none of that shit. Drake has literally touched all genres, even outside the U.S. All right, a lot of your favorites, a lot of the goats, they're not going to the UK, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're not rapping on Afro beats. They not helping. Niggas across seas got popping because of Drake. All right, this girl Julia Wolf I've been listening to. That's from the beginning of Doghouse. Like, the beginning of Doghouse is not even how Doghouse sounds, but that's ill. You understand? So he's speaking to them investigations. So that case has been appealed, right? More than likely that. So with this appeal right here, this shit will be moving forward because what Drake went, because the issue was the judge stopped it before they could do discovery. right? So that means that the things that Drake was looking for, he was never allowed to do. Or I'm sorry, Drake was not allowed to present his evidence to the court. This time, he will be able to present the evidence to the court. And a part of that evidence will be, more than likely, allegedly, whatever was going on in Hot 97. There's even a clip with Rosenberg on the Rory and Mal show saying how he was amazed at the fact that they were playing the entire GNX album on the radio. People don't play albums on like radio shows. That's not a thing people do, right? Meaning that they put all the songs into rotation. Ebro was a part of the programming. That's a choice that he made. You don't play any artist's entire album as like the rotation. That could be 10 to 12 songs. Right? Anyway.
Eyes. Relax. You're salty about losing to Kendrick. You're not mad at me. Love, bro. No, it's a good response. Honestly, I think it's great. That's a really good response.
He's not mad at me. Why would you be mad at me? Mad at me for what?
No, stop. He's definitely mad at you, and he's been mad at you. Why?
He's 100% mad at you. Yeah. Why would he send that?
Mad at me for what? What did I do?
And you surpassed me.
It's the most loose DM he's ever sent you. That's crazy.
No, that's. And by the way, if I were you, I would do what Drake would do. Sue. Feels like a threat.
Oh shit.
Feels like a threat. Yo, die.
It feels like a threat.
He said die, and then we got some shit for you. I'm going to court like you, Drizzy. I'm going to court.
Yo, Rosenberg, you got lawyers in your family. You're Jewish. Who you got from?
We got Drake.
And this clip right here. This is a great example of y'all might not have no chance in this contest shit. God damn it. Y'all niggas suck, man. Y'all not good at content. This whole conversation is whack. It's like, yo, because the thing is that, yo, without that Hot 97 logo behind y'all sound different. You sound different. I'm gonna comment, and you know what was funny is it always bugs me out when you have the performative white guy who comes into black spaces and basically tries to kind of like out real nigga everyone there. You know what I mean? So rather than kind of having like the opinion you think a white guy should have, he comes with a very like this pretty much like kind of like a pandering opinion. So he knows that black people don't understand why there's a lawsuit. A lot of us, again, can just be told through headlines what's going on. No, there's a lawsuit because his record label promoted and put payola and extra money into a song about him being a pedophile. That's why there's a lawsuit. That's defamation. Again, someone accusing you of touching children, that is a huge allegation. It's a serious allegation. That is not a go-to in any battle. I've been battle rapping since 2014 as a hobby. No one has ever called me a pedophile. No one's ever had a bar about me touching kids. That's never been a go-to of, this is what you do. No one does that. No one does that ever. And y'all niggas pretending that that's a thing we do in hip-hop and you shouldn't take it personal or whatever. That's from yesterday. It's weird. Or maybe days ago. It's weird. Actually, anyway, so it's almost like it's 3:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow, man. Keep watching tables.
You was watching tables.
All right, subscribe to the channel. Love y'all.